And a very good morning to everybody. It's Friday, November 6th, and you are tuned in to Etown Live. I'm Dr. Eric Witherspoon. I'm the superintendent here, and I'm joined by my assistant superintendent and the principal of ETHS, Dr. Marcus Campbell. Marcus, good morning.
Good morning, Eric.
And I'll just briefly say that this morning is certainly culminating a very busy week. There's been just a dangerous surge in the pandemic. It's proving to be highly deadly, and we've been getting so much bad news about that this week. They're still counting votes in the national election. And so, again, I know a lot of people throughout the country have been paying close attention to that. And then we are still on e-learning here at ETHS. And this has been a big adjustment for everybody, for students for sure, for teachers and staff for sure, and for parents and families for sure. But in the midst of all that, we've had gorgeous weather this week, and it's amazing how much that can help when the sun is shining, the sky is blue, and you can actually get outside. Marcus, how have you been holding up?
I've been holding up pretty well. I'm just tired. Maybe you would hear it in my voice. You know, I'm a Jimmy Carter baby. I was born in the last year of the Carter administration. And the presidential elections have always been like my Super Bowl, so I really get into them. I remember the first presidential election I remember is the 1988 George Bush, Michael Dukakis election, where Michael Dukakis got out of a tank or something like that. I remember. So I've always been into these, and have been just waiting on the edge of my seats for the returns, and so, but always just appreciating the democratic process. So. It's been a long week, but and an interesting week.
Well said. And we have to, I appreciate what you said about remembering the elections. You know, it is a 4-year cycle, and every cycle brings different dynamics, and every cycle has a tendency to really create a lot of emotion in our country. But isn't it great that a democracy can function this way?
That's right.
So terrific. I just want to thank everybody who has taken part in our fall e-learning survey that we have been conducting now in the last week and a half here at ETHS. We are in the process of compiling all that information because we want to use it to guide us, to guide our teachers, to guide our planners, to guide us in how we continue doing what is working with e-learning and how we make modifications and how we improve it. So we had about 1,500 students, about 1,200 parents and guardians, and about 300 of our staff members all respond to the survey. So there's going to be a lot of rich information there, and we'll be sharing that out with the board next Monday. And when we come back for the next Etown Live, we'll be discussing the survey and how we're improving and how we're using that survey to make those improvements. Marcus.
Thank you. So I would like to thank all of you that took time to take the survey for us, all of our parents and staff members and students. We know that this is a very busy time for everyone, and we know that students and staff are continuing to adapt and adjust after several months now of remote learning and teaching, and we appreciate all of your efforts, all of you that just, you're hanging in there and doing the best that you can. So we really appreciate you giving it your best. And we also appreciate the support of our board in this entire process. And I look forward to hearing and sharing more about these preliminary results. As Eric mentioned, that Dr. Withers mentioned, we're going to be sharing on Monday night at Monday night's board meeting, but we'll also be giving updates and sharing information from that survey at the November 20th Etown Live. So we're working hard to be responsive to our students as e-learning continues, and as the semester moves along. And we will be continuing to look at this feedback from all stakeholder groups to support teaching, learning, and our well-being. So thank you very much for giving us your voices in this process.
And also this week, we have been getting notifications and warnings from Governor Pritzker. He has been requiring more mediation and more mitigation across the state. And just again yesterday indicated that we could see even more restrictive requirements as we try to mitigate the record-setting infection of the COVID virus that's taking place right now in the state of Illinois. We will definitely closely monitor that. At this moment, we are following the governor's guidelines, which indicated that we can have winter sports with a number of restrictions for low and medium risk sports. And there are actually guidelines from the IDPH and the governor on how you have to be safe and conduct those. We intend to follow those guidelines and offer winter sports to the degree that we can do it safely and to the degree that those instructions don't change in the coming days or the coming weeks. Also, you may know that the governor declared that basketball, boys and girls basketball, are considered high risk sports activities, and he has indicated that the basketball season at this point will be moved until the spring. We will definitely follow that guidance, and we will also, because there are very strict requirements on what kind of even activities can go on with basketball because it's called high risk, that there will be certainly some no contact experiences, just as we did in the summer with other sports that were high risk like football, but we will be very limited in what we're able to do right now. We also anticipate, and in fact it's just common sense, that we'll be having to use more of our indoor facilities to accommodate those. Even though the weather's beautiful this week, we know that winter truly, they're not called winter sports by accident. Winter is truly coming upon us. And so we will do a lot of mitigation, and it'll be a good chance for us to start to see how well can we handle very small groups in very controlled settings and in limited amounts of time with an indoor activities, and we'll be able to get a better read on that as well. So we will definitely be monitoring that, but while there are no guarantees, I do want to stress to all of our students and all of our parents, we will follow the strictest rules on safety, and if we think that that is not working, we will certainly make modifications.
Thank you, Eric. We are certainly working out all of the logistics to prepare for the start of winter sports season, and I can't reiterate enough what Dr. Witherspoon just said, and that is that we will be very, very careful and follow these guidelines very strictly as this time is approaching. We will be sharing more information prior to the start of the season. In the meantime, the most up-to-date safety guidelines for athletics can be found on our website. So students, families, please take time to check your email for information. Also, you can do that, and also be sure to follow specific instructions for your sport, since coaches will help ensure that all guidelines are followed. So please be sure to check your email. Again, we're taking every precaution to keep our students and our staff safe. And like everyone else, we're paying close attention to the recent surges in COVID numbers. Dr. Witherspoon and I were just chatting that just yesterday there were 120 1,000 new infections in the country. And there are more infections now than there were in the spring, and so we're concerned about that. And so this also will impact our approach to other areas like testing, which has been in the minds of some of our students and families. And so we're trying to figure this out. We understand that safety is very, very important, and we're doing the best that we can to navigate such a difficult terrain.
And one of the things that has been affected by the pandemic is our national standardized assessments that high schools give. We announced last summer that we were not going to be able to administer the ACT or the SAT here at ETHS during the fall. We've been monitoring this closely. Now we're taking a look ahead to the PSAT that would occur in January. We have not made a decision on that yet. We really want to monitor, and we have about another month to make that decision. By December 4th, we would have to order the materials to do the PSAT this year. It would be a much smaller number of students that would necessarily be determining they want to take that. And we would be, if we were able to do it, outlining carefully how that would have to occur. So no decision yet, but we'll make that decision by December 4th for sure. The one thing I do want to indicate, we sent out information yesterday about this testing, and there is a link, because for those who want to compete in the National Merit Scholarship Program, PSAT is a traditional way to do that, but there's always been an additional way to do that based on the SAT. And so you can go to that link, and if you're concerned about participating in that, but would also be concerned if we were doing a PSAT in January, there are other options.
Okay. All righty. So what a start we've had to November. In the midst of all the uncertainty, we remain committed to connecting with our families, and we were pleased to host a virtual incoming freshman information night this week, and we were also excited to welcome our class of 2025 to our Wild Kid family next year. If you are an incoming freshman family that missed the presentation, there's a link to the video on our website, and please take the time to check that out. I hear it was really, really good, so thank you for all of the feedback that we've gotten so far. And there's a lot of useful information that is provided. And thank you to the staff and our student ambassadors who contributed to the success of the event. Here.
It was a great event, Marcus, and thank you for your part in making it successful. And a big shout out to Allie Hart, who is our transition coordinator here at ETHS. And while it was a total team effort, she is the energy and the strategizer behind that. And we've had amazingly wonderful feedback from the families and the students in the class of 2025. You know, one of the things I spoke to in that evening presentation was that I was welcoming the class of 2025 to the ETHS family. And you know, just like families right now are maybe not, if they're in different parts of the country, able to travel and see one another the same way we would all want to do, it's still family. We're still close, and we still all have a bond. And I'm so excited that the class of 2025 is now officially underway with us. We have been reminding them that they are now indeed Wild Kids, and we really look forward to them being here in the fall. Finally, I just want to remind you that we do recognize Veterans Day, so there will be no school next Wednesday, November the 11th. Again, we always get the right amount of school days in, and having some breaks along the way, I think, is always good. But this year, with everything that's going on in our lives, with all of the challenges, with just the demands of e-learning itself, I think that a break in the middle of the week will be more than welcome. But never forget, family, it's a great day to be a Wild Kid.